Greetings, free thinkers. Welcome to the Hodcast. How are you doing today? I hope you're doing fine. I certainly am. Okay, what do we have for you on today's episode? We have for you one clip to watch. It's this one here. It's a few minutes long. It's in regards to the fact that very soon Australia is to become the first Western country to go completely cashless. Now, I'm sure you know that there is an effort being made by globalists in the West to remove cash entirely from society. As we watch this, I'm going to give you some of my opinions why that's a very bad thing. Some of them are probably obvious, some of them probably not so much. So we'll get into the clip now. If you haven't yet though, please like the video, subscribe to the Hodcast and hit the notification bell if you find this video informative. You can also become a member of the Hodcast if you so choose. There is a join button down below, but of course you don't have to. Okay, let's go. Okay, the clip.
As ATMs and bank branches close and Australians increasingly rely on digital payments, one economist predicts the country will be cashless in the next few years. But there are fears a world without banknotes will leave people unable to pay for essential goods and become easy targets for cyber criminals.
Yeah, that's one issue of it. You've also got to remember there's a lot of people that, for a variety of different reasons, don't have debit cards. What if their debit card gets cancelled? What if it gets lost? How long will it take to replace it?
No time for delay on the lunch rush.
Tap away when you're ready. Tap away when you're ready. Tap away when you're ready.
Cafe Pablo and Rusty's was one of the first businesses to axe cash. Now heavy hitters are on board, including KFC, Krispy Kreme and Nando's. Even Macquarie Bank is phasing out cash deposits and withdrawals.
Another thing, have you noticed, like, if you go into the bank, how suspicious the bank are of you if you go in for cash these days? It's like you're asking them to chop their arm off. Do you know what I mean? It's like, if you go in for any amount that's a reasonable amount or above, you get asked 50,000 questions, like, why are you withdrawing this? What's it for? And it's like, well, what has that got to do with you? It seems like in this globalist world, we are in a situation where even ourselves, our own being, doesn't belong to us anymore. Everything has to belong to the state, which is awfully Marxist in nature, isn't it?
We're definitely going to become a cashless society. It's better for consumers and it's better for businesses.
What an idiot. What an idiot. It's better for consumers, apparently. Explain how it's better for consumers. Okay? What if he loses this phone here? Right? What if his wallet goes missing? Okay? And it's got his bank cards in it. He's screwed. It's not like he's got cash at home that he can tide himself over with, because cash would be phased out. And this is before we get to the main the main crux of the issue, which is, in this increasingly divided world between left and right, what happened, we saw in Canada where they were cancelling people's bank accounts, okay, from the Freedom Convoy. They were cancelling people's bank accounts without a court order. What kind of tyrant does such a thing? That's Justin Trudeau and his so-called the liberals, yeah. They're liberals, but they do that. It's the quintessential hypocrisy of the left, okay? So you're going to see more of that in a society with no cash. You will see them leveraging that power over you, without a doubt.
UNSW Professor of Economics Richard Holden says in 5 years we'll be functionally cashless unless the Reserve Bank acts even sooner.
We could say year one we'll get rid of the $50 bill, year two we'll get rid of the 20 and the 10, and year three we'll kind of mop up the small change, and that would give people time to adjust. For older Australians, it's going to be more challenging.
No, not cashless. Definitely not.
Have you noticed how all of these so-called professors, right? And a professor used to be a respected profession, but now they seem increasingly at odds with the average person. Like, why does this professor want cashless society so much? Why? Okay.
I don't even have a wallet anymore. Just use the phone, it's great.
We want to be able to do what we want with our money.
Sweden, the first nation to introduce banknotes back in the 1600s, was shaping up to be the first to get rid of them.
The demand from merchants and consumers that really decided the speed of this process.
But there was
I don't believe that. I don't believe that merchants have demanded that. Maybe the financial sector, but the average person about town, absolutely not. I refuse to believe that. Okay, and these issues here that they're talking about elderly people, people who aren't tech savvy, people who don't have a debit card. Because here in the United Kingdom, if you don't have a even reasonable credit history, you can't get a debit card. Okay, so what would you do then? You would be stuffed, essentially. But they're peripheral issues. The main issue is how this is going to be used against the people, against dissent against globalists. That's what it will be used for. Okay, we are becoming serfs, digital serfs. We're moving back into serfdom.
community backlash when people struggle to pay for essential goods, including the elderly and people living in areas with low internet.
We didn't see the problems in time.
Now trying...
Yeah, that's another thing. Rural communities, how are they going to deal with it? Right? The idea that a nation could be completely without cash, it's ridiculous. You're not progressing, you're regressing, right? To the days when we used to barter. Will bartering make a comeback? Yeah? You often find with the so-called progressives that instead of progressing, we seem to regress. Yeah.
To strike a balance.
New laws have come into operation, been forcing banks to have ATMs all over Sweden.
Lobby group Cash Welcome says it should serve as a cautionary tale for Australia.
Millions of Australians trust and rely on cash every day.
And it comes without the...
Yes, because it apart from all of the other things that I've raised, points that I've raised, the fact of the matter is it gives you the buying power. Okay, that is the be all and end all. Okay, to take that away from you is taking away power from you, the average person. Have you noticed that how the average person seems to be becoming increasingly less powerful? And by powerful I don't mean strong, and by powerful I mean freedoms that grant you power. Yeah, you understand what I mean? Like free speech. To speak freely gives you a measure of power. Yeah, so you can call out that which needs calling out. Yeah, a cash society. To have £300, $500, whatever in your pocket gives you power through freedom to do a thing. Okay, to buy a thing, to do a thing, to take a service, right? Yeah.
The data breaches, scams and tech failures of digital payments.
Because it's not reliable. As soon as there's a flood, as soon as there's a fire, as soon as there's...
Right, that's another excellent point, right? You have these situations where everything just gets destroyed. What, a power cut, for example. So now you have all of these shops where nobody can... You literally can't buy anything because there's no cash left. It's madness. This wasn't a problem. We've had... Listen, this is what I mean, right? We've had credit cards, debit cards, internet payments for a generation now. It wasn't a problem before, okay? Just because something exists doesn't mean you have to change it, right? Doesn't mean everything needs to be changed because insert progress, right? They'll never explain to you either how these things are progressive, how it's progressing, what it's progressing to. They never explain it.
There's an internet outage, nobody can spend.
Whether you use cash or not, there's no question it's getting harder to access. In the past financial year, 11% of the nation's ATMs closed. Despite this, Aussies still withdraw $8 billion in cash every single month. No doubt some will need convincing.
I guess the Tooth Fairy's going to go digital.
Right, this guy, I swear, this guy, you don't trust people like this, right? He's got an ill-favoured look about him, right? His eyes are too close together for me. And it's always the smugness with these people. Oh, I guess the Tooth Fairy's going to go cash. Just...
Annalise Bolt, 9 News.
Yeah, so that's the report from Australia about going cashless. This guy, he irritates the hell out of me, this guy, look.
I guess the Tooth Fairy's going to go digital.
People have got legitimate concerns, right? Numerous concerns. This wasn't an issue before. Oh, I guess the Tooth Fairy's going to go cashless. If you think you hate leftists, right, I promise you don't hate them enough. Anyway, look, I'm going to get going. Let me know what you guys think about your society, your country going cashless. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.